Listen now, we the talk around town. Alex threw the ball to Smokey for a touchdown. Ha. It's fourth down and you don't really want no more. We've been winning from the door. You should check the scoreboard. Ha. Check the scoreboard. Ha.
Welcome back to another episode of the Scoreboard. Week 11 rolling around. We have some shakeups. We have some shakeups in terms of divisional rankings. We have some favorites losing, and we have some shakeup even in my MVP rankings. First of all, Smokey, how are you doing?
Oh man, I'm good. I'm gonna say Raiders this week, man. Carr is crying on the podium after the game. Like, that team has fallen apart, and there is no saving in sight at this point. Yeah, they might as well just tank and look for next season. Our predictions, though, man, I'll tell you this. I actually gained a couple more points on you. We disagreed on the Seahawks and Bucks, obviously. You got that one. I had the Vikings in that game. Wow, that was a barn burner.
Yeah.
Let's see what else we had. I had the Colts. You had the Raiders. My God, you had the Raiders, man.
I really had the Raiders? Oh my God, Why would I do that?
No,
I had the Colts. Did I not have the Colts? Really?
You know what? That's my fault. You did have the Raiders, and I had the Raiders.
I had the Colts. Okay, so it's actually a flip. Okay.
I actually wrote it in the wrong column. That's my fault.
Okay, so then it's not as bad.
Yes, I had the Cardinals and Rams. Yes. So actually, I only had 1 point on you.
You gained 1 point still, but the Bills is ridiculous. I mean, I should have. Come on, that was a joke. That was a complete joke. That game was absolutely crazy.
It was ridiculous. Yes.
Yeah. I mean.
I actually picked the Vikings thinking that Josh Allen wasn't going to play, and he played, and luckily I still pulled that one out.
Not great,
yes,
though. Yes. A lot of favorites being dethroned there. Buffalo lost, Dallas lost, which is one of my favorite facts of this weekend. But also the Eagles lost stealthily on Monday night. The winning season, the undefeated season's over.
Yeah, exactly.
To Washington of all teams.
I know. Well, they looked good. The Commanders looked good.
They did, yeah. Taylor Heineke.
Yeah, that's amazing that would be the team to end it. Although we have seen the Commanders play decently this year, probably better under Taylor Heineke than with Carson Wentz. So I think at this point you just keep Taylor in there. Definitely,
I agree with that. Just let him play. You have nothing to lose anyway. The division, like you have so many strong teams in your division. You're not making any playoffs. Just Taylor Heineke play. See if you can maybe get some trade value out of him when you're inevitably trying to trade up for a quarterback.
Yeah, definitely.
I like the idea. I like it.
Our total comes to 90 for me and 88 for you.
So I still gotta make up some points this week. This week for sure. Yeah. This is the week. I promise.
I want to look back at last week when I get there, or last year, and see where we were at this point to see if we were anywhere close at this. Okay, I got it right here. Going into week 11, wow, I had 93, and I have 90 this year. You had 88, and you have 88 right now.
Wow, so I'm perfectly consistent.
Yes, exactly.
Haven't improved by a single point since last year. That's great. Love to see that.
Yeah, I'm a little behind last year. I got to pick that up.
We're way too average. After 10 games, average 8.8. That's not enough.
Oh, yeah.
That's not enough. We got to do better than this. We
average like definitely, 50%. Yeah.
Let's talk about the MVP. Let's talk about the MVP ranking before we get into this week. So a lot of shake up there as well. For a few weeks, it's been pretty steady. I got some shaking up to do. Now I've said the last week that they're pretty close. Now at the top, it's getting pretty close. Josh Allen's kind of giving up the lead, and it was like a 3-horse race. I have Josh Allen down the board now because he played another game that is just subpar. Completely beneath his standard. I have Mahomes at 1 at this point and Tua at 2. Still very close, and I think Tua is at 2 only because he missed those 3 games or 2.5 games. If he didn't miss those, he would be ahead by a long shot. He still leads the league in passer rating with like 118 or something, which is a historical stat. I took my time to look at the passer rating rankings of the past like 10 years of MVPs, and this is something you rarely see. Aaron Rodgers in 2020 had a passer rating of like 119, but that was like an all-time season. Even last year, Aaron Rodgers didn't have that stat, and Lamar Jackson did in his MVP season, which was unanimous. So in terms of stats, Tua's like flying above everyone else. He's just missed those games, but he can make up for it. He keeps playing the way he's been, and the Dolphins keep winning the way they've been, dominating offensively completely like every team. I think he'll end up being sort of the front runner if it keeps going. For now, Mahomes slightly ahead of him. Josh Allen down to number 3. Not out of the race by any means, but he has to start picking it up. Let's hope he's not injured. Let's hope he's going to be able to play for the rest of the season. He has to start returning to the way he started the season, because he's turned the ball over a lot. He's averaging like over a turnover a game. Not good.
In the red zone at that.
Yes, that needs to stop. Geno Smith still at number 4. They lost that game in close fashion, but Geno Smith still somehow played better than Tom Brady. But the Bucs defense was a bit too much. You can't expect him to be like Superman every week. And I actually have Joe Burrow at number 5, which is odd because Jalen Hurts dropped out of the rank, even though Joe Burrow actually didn't play. Jalen Hurts dropped out because he didn't look very good. He kind of got into more trouble than he needed to against Washington, made bad decisions. Probably got outplayed by Taylor Heineke, all things considered, so he for now is out. But I have him still in the hunt along with Lamar Jackson, so that's my 7 names.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
if I had to name an 8th quarterback, it would be Jimmy Garoppolo, and the stats support it. Just gonna say that.
Man, I was waiting. At some point this season, I knew he was going to get thrown into this. I was just waiting for it. There it is. There's the first.
He's creeping
Garoppolo.
up the list. Like I check the stats. Like I check the stats every week, and he's 8th in passer rating, and then he's 7th. Oh, look, he's 6th in passer rating now.
Yeah.
Like after this week.
Yeah, I mean, I give it to him. He's playing well. It's not bad at all. But as far as mine, I have put Tua at number 1. Just watching him play this game this week, Tua is deadly accurate. He is throwing lasers out there. This team is absolutely firing on all cylinders. It's almost to where the Dolphins are my Super Bowl favorite at this point. For the entire season, it's been the Bills. But after this past week, seeing them drop one to the Vikings, who people don't even think the Vikings are a Super Bowl worthy team, that they may just hit the playoffs and lose it like they usually do anyway. But I think the Dolphins are probably, I don't know if Vegas is agreeing with me, but I in my mind, they're my Super Bowl favorite right now. And Tua is my MVP favorite. And not that Mahomes took himself out of it. He just played not quite as well as Tua. And of course, Allen, he did drop himself down the list. It's crazy after the magnificent season he was having. But I think there's 4 interceptions in the past 2 games in the red zone at that, which is a problem. And down at the bottom, there's just a bottleneck of guys who are kind of in that tier with Hurts, Cousins, Geno, Burrow, whoever. Maybe even Garoppolo's down there. Who knows? But, yep, right now.
He's down there.
Oh, yeah. Right now, I'm going with Tua, though.
Yeah, Tua has been the best player this year, and he's been the most valuable, just looking from what he's done for his team, and team 7-0 with him, 0-3 without him. Yeah, that's a definition of valuable. I just don't know if he's going to get it if the season ends today. Will they give it to him because he missed that much time? He missed a quarter of the possible playing time. He should get it. If he keeps going with that, he probably will get it. But right now, it's like you can flip a coin between him and Mahomes, really. But Mahomes has played more games, so I'm just going to give it to him for now. But it could change. It could change every week. It's still a very close race, which not often do we have a race this close. This deep into the season between 3 guys, by the way, so everything's possible. All right, if you have an opinion on this, you can go to the channel page, by the way, channel community page of Beyond Football. You can vote. There's a poll every single week after the NFL game day. Tell us who your NFL MVP favorite is if the season ends today. Who should win it? You can go vote, leave your comment, and see what you think. So I assume that Josh Allen is no longer going to be the fan favorite after this week, but I'm going to see. I'm going to see what the results show. Let's get into Week 11. We've got a good slate of games lined up, starting with the Packers coming off of the hilarious win against Dallas in overtime, which I thoroughly enjoyed.
I bet you did.
At home, hosting the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah, I guess you just revel anytime the Cowboys lose anyway. But the Packers looked good. It looks like if you were to take this game as just a one-game sample size, separate from the rest of the season, it looks like they're back to their normal Packerness. I don't know, man. I want to believe in it. I want to believe that, okay, this is the point where they turn it around. But there was too many bad games before that. I mean, is Rodgers back? Is he not? I've been going back and forth on that. But, however, in this game right here, Texans are a pushover, right? So Packers easily win at home.
It's the Titans, not the Texans.
Oh, Jesus,
Titans.
I wrote down.
Makes it a bit harder of a pick.
Yes, it does. Now I gotta rethink that. Oh, man. Why did I write? I always get the Titans and Texans mixed up. That is tougher. You know what? The Packers have the momentum. Titans did not. I mean, they didn't play bad at all, but it was the Broncos. I'm going to stick with the Packers. I'll keep it that way.
That's a tough pick because the Titans, you also don't know what's going on with the quarterback situation. And they're not necessarily a reliable team to pick. I think Aaron Rodgers never was gone. It's really as simple as this. What they needed is one receiver to step up. Just one receiver to be even good, not even great, just be good, like catch balls. That's all that's needed to happen, because that's what has cost them a lot of games this season. And finally, Christian Watson decided that, listen, I was picked for a reason, and I'm gonna fill these footsteps, because it was Devontae Adams, of course. It's been for a long time, who was their one good receiver, and that's enough. It's been enough, and now Christian Watson with this huge game, I think it's gonna give the Packers the momentum, like you said, to come back, because they have the potential. At least offensively, the potential's there. They still suck on special teams. Their defense isn't necessarily great, even though they got 2 very good interceptions off of Dak Prescott. But I'll take the Packers as well, because it's more of a proven commodity, let's say, with Aaron Rodgers than whatever the Titans are gonna trot out there. It's Derrick Henry, yeah, he's a thing, but in terms of quarterback, Titans are a bit of a madhouse at the moment. So I'm gonna go Packers after that win to keep the wave going. Maybe even make a late season playoff push. Who knows? The division's not very good. Vikings are gone, but maybe there's a wild card. Mm-hmm. Bears at the Falcons.
Yeah, we've actually seen that happen in the past too, with the Packers get off to a horrible start and then come back and make the playoffs in the end. The Falcons are bad. Like that game was so depressing. It's the Panthers. Come on. I thought for sure we could make another win over the Panthers there, the lowly Panthers, but apparently they're just too much, because the Falcons are horrible on offense. Like, we got a run game, sort of. Cordero Patterson was back in this game. He didn't do much of anything. On the other hand, the Bears. Justin is a superstar in the making. I am convinced. No, they're not winning. But Justin is having wonderful games right now. I think in years to come, we're going to see Justin Fields up there in top 5 conversations each season. Not this season, but in seasons to come. This is definitely a breakout for him. Now they just got to get some wins on the board. And they're coming really close. Too bad that was the Lions. People would believe in them more if they were hanging in there with a bigger team like the Chiefs or something. But this right here is tough, because I want to pick the Falcons, but I really think the Bears are ascending right now. That offense is really firing, and you know that the Falcons defense can't stop anything. I'm going to take the Bears on the road.
All right, I'll do you the favor. I'll take the bait there. I'm picking the Falcons to win it, to take it at home. You're right, the Falcons defense hasn't been good at stopping stuff, but maybe their one strength is to stop the run more so than anything else, and that's what the Bears exclusively rely on. Be it Justin Fields or be it the running back, the number 1 rushing offense, number 32nd passing offense in the league, which is an incredible stat. Justin Fields has had great games, but the Bears all around haven't shown enough talent to be considered like a seriously dangerous team. The Packers are, to me, a legitimate wildcard contender if they pick it up. The Bears, to me, are not. Because games like this against the lowly Lions, worst defense in the league, you have to win those if you're a team on the rise, right? You'd think that these are the games that they are supposed to win and win quite clearly, instead of turning it into a tank bowl. And that's sort of what it looked like. So I'm going to take the Falcons. I'm going to give you that favor, and hopefully they can redeem themselves for the benefit of my point this week, because the game against the Panthers wasn't very good. Speaking of the Panthers, they are playing at Baltimore.
I do want to make one quick rebuttal, though. The Lions also beat the Packers, so there's that. I mean,
Lions did beat the Packers, yeah.
Yeah, they had an explosive offense earlier in the season. It looks like that's firing again. If their
the Lions
defense
have
picks
won
up,
back-to-back games.
yeah, exactly. So maybe it's not that crazy, you know. Maybe they're just not the bottom of the barrel like we thought. But in this game, the Ravens are coming off their bye. The Panthers are coming off a win to the Falcons. But that really doesn't say much, does it? Because the Falcons are just that bad right now. It makes me mad to think about it. But the Ravens have a much better offense. They have a much better defense. What else can I say? Lamar is going to run all over them. I'll take the Ravens at home.
Well, PJ Walker is starting over a first and second overall pick right now. Is the only thing of the same draft class, the most hyped draft class since I don't know, like 10 years prior.
By farther than that, probably. 2011, maybe?
Maybe, yeah, something like that. The Cam Newton year.
Yeah.
Could be. And PJ Walker is the XFL quarterback starting over both of them on the same team. And it's a bad team, too. But yeah, I mean, the Panthers played earlier, played Thursday night, so they kind of have a half a bye week as well, but it doesn't change the fact of the matter that the Ravens are just a better team, better offense, and they're 12-point favorites for a reason here, and they're going to win it. Absolutely. Browns at the Bills.
One thing I don't expect is for the Bills to lose momentum after a game like that, because the Vikings are a legitimate, like, knocking on the door of elite team. So I don't think the Bills are bad by any means. Now, like we discussed, Josh Allen does need to clean up those interceptions, and he probably will in this game right here. We saw the Dolphins wipe the floor with the Browns, and the Bills are on the level with the Dolphins. I mean, we can't kid ourselves. Like, they are an elite team still. Their wins are only to other elite teams, and the Browns are not elite. I expect the Browns to put up a fight here, but the Bills are going to win this one at home.
I agree with that. Bills, they have to bounce back after this like insane nail-biter against the Vikings. Cleveland's the right team. They're all kind of caught up in nowhere. Deshaun Watson will be back, I think, the following week or the week after that, but it's going to be too late to make a playoff push, more than likely. Buffalo wins. The Eagles defeaters at the Houston Texans.
And that's funny because I actually wrote the Texans on this one. I had the Texans on the page twice. Commanders coming off a big win to the power rankings #1 last week. They probably fell down the board after last night, I would imagine. But does that make the Commanders that good? Are they flying up the power rankings now? What are they, 4-4 now? Let's see, they are 5-5, I mean. So they're 500. The Texans are just that bad, though. The Texans haven't won a game in quite some time. I got to go with the Commanders. I think they're going to continue their winning streak.
I'm going to call them the Eagles defeaters now. I'm going to take the Eagles defeaters as well. Texans are bad. Nothing much to say. Taylor Heineke's looking pretty good. He's got the offense rolling, so I'm taking him. Mm-hmm. The Eagles at the Colts.
The Commanders defeatees.
The Commanders feeders.
Guess what? The Colts are better without Frank Reich. Imagine that. You bring in your borderline Hall of Famer. He's going to be in the discussion. I don't know if he will be, but you put him back in there over Sam Ehlinger, and you win games. I get it that they weren't on fire before removing him, but it made absolutely no sense to remove him, and we see that they are better with Matt Ryan than Sam Ehlinger. It's that easy. Maybe it does kind of make this a little tough because the Eagles are on the road and they're coming off of a loss. Are they going to lose it? Is it going to be like the Steelers of 2 seasons ago where they went 11-0 and then just started dropping every game after that almost? Is it going to be one of those? Are they defeated? Are they going to get it back together? Right now, you got to go with logic and say that the Eagles will put it back together and win this one on the road.
When you were talking about bringing in your borderline Hall of Famer, I really thought you were talking about Jeff Saturday, not Matt Ryan at first until you.
Oh, that too.
Until you clarified. I'm gonna go with the Eagles. I think that it's not the kind of team that loses back-to-back games. Right? As much as I want the Colts to win this, and I really do. It's fun to see them suddenly like playing well again. I think the Eagles are just too good of a team. They're going to kind of rain on the parade, as lame as it is. But I'm going to pick the Eagles. Don't think they'll lose back-to-back. Jets at the Patriots.
This is tough right here. Now, the Patriots got the win over the Jets the last time. But the Jets have been on fire on every game except for the Patriots. Now, do I think the Patriots can pull it off again? It's really tough. They're going to be at home. I would like to say it's hard to beat a team twice in one season, but then again, the Patriots have never really applied to that trend. You know what? I think the underdogs here, I think they can pull it off. I'm going to go with the Jets on the road.
Wow, Jets are the underdogs, huh? They have a better record.
You would think, right?
I mean, I do think so because I know how this dynamic works, but the odd makers say this is a pick'em, and the Jets do have a better record. It was a pick'em last time as well, if I remember correctly.
That's why I would think that the Jets are the underdogs this time.
Maybe.
Because of that last game.
Well, it's a pick'em. It's only hard to beat the same team twice when you're the Falcons. That's not the truth for everyone. Niners do it every year to the Rams, and
that's true.
The Patriots have a history of doing it to multiple teams every year, and I'm gonna say they do it again. I know the Jets are good. I know Zach Wilson's having a good season. I know their defense is suddenly great. I know they have probably the best draft class by far, like with an all-pro caliber running back and an all-pro caliber cornerback. Though the running back got injured, which is an issue, but they had a great draft class. They've massively improved. I get it. They're suddenly playing defense, so Robert Saleh's scheme is finally taking shape. That's what they brought him in for the lockdown defense. I'm gonna pick the Patriots. If you're interested in knowing why, like go back 3-4 weeks. The hurry up offense. I gave the whole exposition when they played for the first time, and I was like, it is shameful how correct I was when I did say it. So I'm not gonna say it again. But same exact reason. I'm gonna take him. I'm gonna rely on them. Rams at the Saints.
The Rams are bad. And now it looks like they are definitely going to be missing Cooper Kupp. On the other hand, the Saints are still bad also. This is probably the worst Saints team that we've seen since 2017, I would say. That 7-win season, whatever it was. I don't even know that they get to 7 wins this season, even with the extra game. But it's tough because the Rams are so bad. This team is just a shell of its former self. Stafford, probably still dealing with his injuries. Who knows? No Cooper Kupp. He's going to be throwing the Skoranek out there. And I'm going to take the Saints at home. This is a horrible game.
I agree with that as well. Without Cooper Kupp, there's zero life to this offense. That is the only thing that they've been able to do all year, and really all of last year, if we're being honest. If he's out, Matthew Stafford's not playing up to his level. It's a terrible offense. They're not going to go anywhere. So I'll take the Saints as well. Even though this is, I kind of want to call it a tank bowl just for both of our satisfaction. But maybe it's just a level above tank bowl, but yeah. It's definitely not worth watching. Lions at the Giants.
Yeah, the Lions got some momentum here, but this is going to be a real test. The Giants are legit this year. That run game is just unstoppable, and it's fun to watch. It's fun to watch Saquon Barkley, who is possibly, arguably, the best running back in the league when he's on point. You could see him. You could throw his name in there with Nick Chubb and Derrick Henry when he's on point. He had a couple
and that other guy who's a new team now and is also a really good receiver. Yeah, him too.
Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
Of course. Definitely Christian McCaffrey. He's been in that conversation since he entered the league. But this was a number 4 overall pick. I think it was 3 or 4, something like that. Yeah, he's that good, and he's proving it on the field. Lions have a great running back either, but he's injured, and not really getting the snaps that he needs to show it off. But I say that the Lions aren't quite that legit just yet. I'm going with the Giants at home.
I will agree with that as well. I'm going to take the Giants again. And by the way, Saquon Barkley was a second overall pick.
Oh, yeah. That's
the highest
yeah.
I can remember for a running back. That's amazing, 2018.
Oh, man.
I'm going to take the Giants. They have a good record. They won again. Listen, Lions are on a winning streak, which is good, right? It's something, but this is a much better team. I don't see them beat them. Giants' offense is on point. Lions still have one of the worst defenses in NFL history, even after those two games. So, Giants to take it. Raiders at the Broncos.
Listen, I have no clue what to do here. I want to say that the Raiders are even worse than the Broncos, but Russell is bad. Like, this is the worst play I've ever seen out of Russell Wilson. Like, he started off as a rookie playing much better than this. He's immobile. This is supposed to be a somewhat mobile quarterback. He has been his whole career. He is immobile right now. I don't know. Maybe this is his wall. Maybe he hit that wall early, much earlier than other quarterbacks. God, he looks so bad. Now that Judy's out, I don't know. I just don't believe in this offense whatsoever. They're missing their key pieces, and Russell's not doing it. Derek Carr's crying on the podium because his team is so bad. They got one bright spot. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'll give it to the one superstar who's a tad better than the other superstars. So I will go with the Raiders on the road.
This is a tough pick, isn't it? This is like misery bowl.
Yeah.
Wilson's bad. The Raiders are terrible. It's really a tank bowl, isn't it? This is tank bowl.
It needs to be.
Legitimately tank bowl. I'm gonna do what I think is the smart play here, and because this can literally go anywhere, there's no favorite. I'm gonna pick whatever you didn't, because I have to make up points on you. So I'm gonna take Denver here. You can't make a pick and feel good about it here. You could pick a tie maybe and be like, oh, it seems legitimate. But you can't pick one of those teams and be confident about it, because they're both like competing at how much they suck. But I'm gonna say Denver. Cowboys at the Vikings.
Well, the Vikings are elite. Like, I know no one believes it. You listen to the analysts, and they're like, the Vikings aren't really going to, make it in the end, right? I guess we've seen them fail so many times. I mean, we've seen really great Vikings teams that just somehow find a way to lose in the end, and they never quite make it to the Super Bowl. But this team has as good a chance as any of them to do it. Now, the Cowboys, I don't think they're quite as good as people were giving them credit for earlier in the season. And Dak is by no means an elite quarterback at this time, but he's capable of giving the team some wins. That is a really good defense. I want to pick the Vikings at home here because I think they can pull off another win.
Agree, I'll take the Vikings. I'm a bit surprised by the betting odds because the Cowboys are actually a 1-point favorite on the road. Which is, it's a bit surprising. I guess they think the defense is a bad matchup for the Vikings. But the Vikings can do so many things on offense. They've shown it, right? They have top 3 running back, top 3 receiver. And Kirk Cousins is not a worse quarterback than Dak Prescott. So where does Dallas really have the advantage in this one? I'm not so sure. Vikings are a complete team, so I'm gonna pick them. Gonna take them to win. Bengals at the Steelers.
Steelers got to win. I know people in Pittsburgh are happy about that. This Pickens to Pickett to Pickens connection is a real thing. In years to come, that's going to be really usable in fantasy as long as Pickett keeps progressing. The Bengals are much better than the Steelers at this point in time. Joe Burrow is way better than Kenny Pickett. No upset there. I'm taking the Bengals on the road.
Again, I can't help but agree. I know I need to pick against you more because you do lead me in the predictions, but can't make reckless picks this early in the season. The Bengals are a stronger team. Steelers have been kind of very cautiously on the up for a bit because the season looked worse at the start, but they're still nowhere near competing, and this division should not be competitive between those two. So Bengals to win it on the road. Chiefs at the Chargers. on Sunday night.
I dare you to pick against me in this one. The Chargers actually getting wins here and there. They couldn't beat the 49ers because they're not quite that good at this time. The receiving options are just not there. And Herbert can't do it all by himself. The Chiefs are just way too strong. Their offense is way too good for this. They'll give up some touchdowns, I'm sure, because the defense is not that great, but the offense is way too good. No one can keep pace with the Chiefs at this point in time. Maybe the Dolphins will be able to in the playoffs or however that works out. I will pick the Chiefs on the road.
I'll also take the Chiefs here. I'm going to say this should be a closer game, but it's incredible to see how injured the Chargers are at this point. Of course, I watched that game very closely. It was the whole nation did. It was in prime time, but it was also against the Niners. So the two key takeaways: Justin Herbert's insane. It's incredible how good he is because he damn near won that game and he kept them in it by himself, with really only Austin Eckler to speak of. No Keenan Allen, no Mike Williams. His top two receivers are out. Defenses hurt. They came into the second half with 3 healthy defensive linemen for the whole game, and they kept getting beat up every play. They were running. You know how Niners play, right? If they can run it, they're gonna run it. So you're getting hit in the face every single play, and still with three linemen with no threats to speak of on offense, Justin Herbert kept the game within a score for the entire 60 minutes. But that being said, the Chiefs are just as good, if not even better, offensively than the Niners are. So it doesn't seem a winnable game for this Chargers team. I know they have a lot of potential when they are actually healthy, but they're not right now. They have Khalil Mack who can make an impact. Derwin James can do it on defense. And offensively, it's just Austin Eckler and the quarterback. At the moment, not enough to beat Kansas City. Unfortunately, I would like this to be a better game, but I doubt it will be, so Chiefs to win it. And the Niners at the Cardinals. This is Mexico City.
Oh man, we finally get to go back to Mexico City after that disaster in 2018. Man, I don't think this is going to be quite the game that was. This is the offenses are not firing like the Chiefs and the Rams of 2018. This shouldn't be much of a game. There's going to be no home field advantage. I would imagine the 49ers have more international fans than the Cardinals do. That's just a given. So, but there's going to be fans for every team that really don't really care for either team. But they're just there because the game is there. So 49ers have a better offense than the Cardinals. The Cardinals are bad. They got Hopkins out there, and that's about it at this point. Connor gets healthier. Maybe they can make more of a threat on the ground. But Kyler's bad. I'll take the 49ers, both of them on the road, but virtually the away game for the Niners.
I assume that Kyler Murray's going to be back in this one. I don't actually know for sure. He was out against the Rams, and Colt McCoy played. I mean, he played fine. Couldn't tell that there was a quarterback missing who asked for $40 million in the offseason or anything. Mm-hmm. Well, that we know how that went. I think the Cardinals have the slight advantage of being more acclimatized to playing in the desert, but you said in terms of fan base, generally probably the Niners have the advantage. I think this is not a huge home or away road game. Favoritism either way. I'm just gonna take the Niners, of course. It's my team for one, and they are also better, so I have legitimate reason to pick them. Plus, it's a division game, so they're 3-0 in the division right now, which is the most valuable thing you can do to clinch a playoff spot, and that's what they are doing right now. So I'm gonna keep taking them. Cardinals, it beat the Rams, which is a lot less impressive than you would think, considering how good the Rams were last year, but they're not good now. And the Cardinals, other than that, don't have a very impressive record themselves, so I'm going to take the Niners to keep winning and go to 6-4. Did you know this is only the second time all year the Niners actually have a winning record?
Really?
It's hard to believe for a team that was in the power ranking top 5 pretty much all season.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they haven't. Wow. Yeah. They haven't dropped out of the power rankings top 10 at all, have they?
Nope, I don't think so. Maybe after week 1, you lose to Chicago. Maybe at that point they were out of the top 10. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah. Well, I think
But
a lot
ever
of people
since-
had high hopes for Chicago at that time, also.
Maybe, yeah.
But
Not
yeah,
anymore.
I'm looking at the any updates, and he's still listed as day-to-day Kyler Murray. So we may actually see Colt McCoy again. Not that it matters, though. The 49ers still going to win. I don't know. The offense, the passing game seemed to be slightly better with Colt
For the
out
Niners? Oh, yeah.
For the Cardinals, yeah.
Yeah, it did, actually. It did.
Yeah.
It doesn't have the same like element of threat on the ground, but
Not
it
at all.
really didn't have much of an impact. James Conner played fine. They were kind of able to handily beat the Rams, who also were without their starting quarterback. And Colt McCoy, of course, has more NFL experience than, what was his name, Wolford? Was it Wolford?
Yeah, Wolford.
Guy I haven't heard of. So there's
I was hoping. I know they had cut him recently, but actually before the season started. But I wanted to see Luis Perez play that game.
Oh, yeah.
You know, when they throw Wolford out there, I'm like, well, this could be Luis Perez right now.
Yeah.
Like, the guy is deadly accurate. Yeah, like.
He was against USFL defensive
True.
backfields.
I wanted
They're
to
like
see if he
half a
could do
second
it.
slower than any NFL backfield.
That's true.
Well, yeah, a lot of those windows turn to interceptions when you're in the NFL.
Yeah. I
But
mean,
still,
PJ Walker is doing fairly okay for
He's
an
doing
XFL
okay.
guy.
That's true, yeah. And still, I would have definitely liked to see him get a shot. Maybe next season, maybe some other point. Maybe he needs another year in the USFL or XFL. Can we call it the minor leagues? Like, is the NFL actually developing like a proper minor system now?
Yeah, I don't think they want to recruit players. I mean, I guess they do, though, really. They don't want an official partnership for sure.
No.
I think the XFL and the USFL would love a partnership, but yeah, they definitely don't want to call it that publicly. But yeah, it really is. Like, if you can't go straight into the NFL, you might as well go there. I mean, it's worked out for quite a few players at this point.
Yeah. Similar system, but we have 4 teams on bye: Jaguars, Dolphins, Seahawks, and the Bucks. So the 2 teams that have traveled to Europe, fittingly, are getting a bye week, which is probably good for reasons of jet lag. The Dolphins are getting a bye week to cool down from their insane heat streak, and the Jaguars also are getting a bye week because every team gets a bye week at some point. That's
Hey, I see an
curious to see
update.
Dolphins back.
I don't know. It's not going to make a difference for our picks because we both picked the Packers, but I don't even understand what this means, though. The blurb just says Ryan Tannehill upgrades to full on injury report.
Full participation in
I
practice.
guess, yeah.
That's what it means.
Yeah, the way they wrote it, though, it makes you wonder if okay,
Yeah.
so he's completely on the injury report now, or
I guess he's still on the injury report, but he's fully participating.
Yeah,
I
it's
guess
gotta
that's
be.
what they're saying. So
yeah, full
he'll be able
participation.
to be there. Question really is though, if we knew right from the start that Tannehill's definitely playing, would you change your pick? Maybe not though.
Yeah, I don't
It's
know.
not, it's not. Only player news that would make me change the pick is if Aaron Rodgers was out. That's literally the only guy in this whole 104 people that would change the pick, I think.
But if Malik plays, the Packers are going to win by like 30.
Possible, yeah.
Malik is that bad.
Malik playing doesn't make the Titans' defense worse, though. So maybe they're not going to win by 30. But yeah, I get it. Yeah, probably. I think the Packers probably take the
I think
Packers
the
either way.
Packers could score 30 on them.
They definitely can. Any given time, when one receiver steps up, they can beat the world for sure. No, we'll have to see. But that's our picks. We have 2 or 3 disagreements.
Yeah,
You
we
have 'em
have
written down?
Bears,
I got Atlanta.
Falcons. Yeah. You have the Patriots over the Jets.
Patriots.
You
Yeah.
have the Broncos over the Raiders. Yep, it's 3.
And that's it. Cool.
Yes.
3 disagreements, and I need to win at least 2 of those because
Yeah,
of course I
to
need to
tie
win
it up.
those points.
Yes.
So let's hope the Falcons bail me out. Let's hope they gift me one. I wouldn't mind. But that's our picks. Let us know what your picks are in the comment section, and again, go to the channel content page, the community page. You can vote for your MVP favorite of the season and after 10 weeks. Who do you vote for as the MVP? Still Josh Allen, or is the popular opinion kind of shifting? I'm curious to see in a few days when the results come in. So please go ahead and do that. And drop us a like on the video. Smokey, do you have anything to add for these predictions?
No, I think that's it for this week. Tune into the hurry up offense though.
That's the one segment exactly. I almost forgot, but then I caught it. Yeah, this we still have to do. Quick foreshadowing into the fantasy world. What do we have?
This week I'm going into deeper trends. I covered trends and cycles last week. I just gave some surface level stuff. I want to go a little bit deeper and dig into some stuff that the average fantasy football player might not know about, and it might help you win your league. So tune in for that one.
Yeah, it's crunch time, right? Playoffs coming up.
Yes. We got to start looking forward to the playoffs soon. So be prepared for that. And remember, if you have a horrible quarterback, you might want to be looking to Deshaun Watson coming back here in a couple weeks.
Yes. Something tells me this week's show is going to be between the 15 to 20 minute range now.
Maybe.
I wonder how long I can still title it "Fantasy Advice in 10 Minutes."
No.
At some point, it's false advertising.
I try to keep it under there.
Yeah.
A lot of news right now. I mean, everybody's getting hurt, so I blame it on the news.
There's a lot to cover. Yeah. We'll figure out a format, but definitely check it out. It's free advice. I mean, if you're a fantasy player, you'd be happy about longer hurry up offenses, I guess, actually, because it's more free professional advice. So go check that out. Coming up just tomorrow after this video is uploaded, right in time for Thursday night kickoff. And give it a listen if you're interested in it. Sounds like an interesting topic. So thank you everybody for watching. That's it for our side, and we're gonna see you in the next one.
Deuces.
Check the scoreboard. Ha. Check.